What's up out there, YouTube? Double D here with Tournage du Bois. Welcome back. Today we've got this piece of Spalted Sycamore. I want to do another water drop vase like I did previously for the YouTube cross-channel challenge. I'm going to put a link to that video right up here. That one was out of walnut. This one's going to be out of sycamore. So let's have some fun. Let's get going. All right, we have that shaped, and I want just a nice round shape like water. So now we will begin sanding. So we'll sand up just a little bit, then we'll sanding sealer it, and then we will go from there. I thought about moving the tenon, decided not to. So yeah, we're just gonna start sanding this up, and then we'll get to hollowing out and start carving that top part. All right, so we got our sanding sealer applied. It's drying up pretty good, so we're gonna put some thin CA glue on this. I don't want to mess with the coloring, so I'm just gonna do thin CA from Starbond. So there's a link to Starbond down below where you can get a 15% off discount by using that link, or you can use coupon code DD15 for a 15% discount as well. So either way, you can save yourself some pretty good money on that, and it's good quality product. So check it out if you need some. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back over this with my scraper. So we will put the scraper on again, and we will scrape this back just a little bit. And I want to do a big shout out to my buddy Jim Garner over at Garnered Wood. He came over and we put a negative rake on my scraper just for a little bit better result. Now that we have that scraped, we'll go back to sanding and go from there. All right, well, we have that sanded up to 180 grit. I'm going to hit it with denatured alcohol a little bit early just to stand that grain up. Then we'll hit it back with the 240 and the 320. And then I want to do another round of the sanding sealer just for a little extra finish on that, smooth it up a little bit more for the final piece. So I won't bore you with all that, but figured I'd bring you back for the denatured alcohol portion, so we'll see kind of what it should look like when we're finished and be able to go from there. All right, I got that sanded up to 400 grit. Now we're going to use our Brad's Abrasive sanding paste. This is extra fine, so it's approximately 1500 grit, give or take a little bit. But we're going to use that on the outside of this piece and get a nice, super smooth finish started on this one. And I know I've talked about this a bit on how to apply it, but you just rub it all around. You'll feel the grit in it as you go. And then once you stop feeling some of that grit, that's when you want to put on, turn the lathe on and use that to buff that out. And you'll use that on a clean part. There is a link to Brad's Etsy store down below. Brad just recently sold his 1000th kit on Etsy, so big congratulations to Brad. And if you are one of the many people who have purchased, used it, and even won it and used it, leave your feedback down below. Let Brad, give Brad a good shout out and let him know what you think of that abrasive paste and tongue wax kit. So I normally run the lathe between 500 and 600 for this. I'm not looking to build up any heat or friction necessarily. I just want to work that in really, really well so that it smooths that surface up even more than the sandpaper did. Then you just move to a clean part of the rag. As you can see, just a little tiny bits coming off still. So probably just have one more spot that we move to, and then this will be all done and ready to start hollowing. I will do a finish at the end. More than likely I'll do the tongue honey finish, since I'm not going to be able to buff it off on the lathe like I would with the tongue wax, since I will have this carved a bit. And it's clean, so we are done. That is super smooth. That crack filled in nicely. You can't even feel that. The spalting is very nice. So now we are going to hollow this out and then we will carve that rim last. All right, I have that inside as far as I can get sanded to 320 grit. I did touch this up just a little bit just to blend it since I'm going to be doing some carving. There's going to be some more sanding on it anyway. So at this point, we are ready to start carving the little splash at the top of the piece. So let's get going with that. All right, so we are back. We have hand sanded this up to 400 grit, just like we did the body. And now I'm going to part it off, and then we will finish up the bottom. We will get our logo on it, and then we will get the finish applied. All right, we are back. We got it laser engraved with the logo. Super happy with how this turned out. It is smaller than what my other water drop vase was. But at this point, we are going to put our finish on it. So for the finish, we are going to use the Tung honey from Brad's workshop. As I mentioned before, there is a link down below in the description if you want to try some of this. Good stuff, love it, and it goes on really, really nicely. So let's get this going. Hey everybody, welcome back. Hope you enjoyed that project where we took the Spalted Sycamore and made the splash vase. So here is the finished project. Not super big, but that's quite all right. Shaped like a water drop with the splash effect at the top. I did have a couple of pieces right here and right here break off. So I had those happen. That's going to when you get the wood really thin. Just carved them to make it look like the beginning of a splash effect, so it's more of a directional splash. Really happy with how it hollowed out. Walls are about a 3/8 inch thickness all the way around. Got the logo laser engraved on it and finished with the Tung honey from Brad's workbench. Love the figuring in Spalted Sycamore. There are portions of it that are relatively plain, and as you turn it from a different angle, you're always going to get a different view. But lots and lots of hand sanding on this, as you can imagine, but really enjoy the project, really enjoy the process of making things representative of different projects and different items. If this is your first time here, please do consider subscribing. If you liked the video, mash the thumbs up. If you didn't like it, mash the thumbs down. Leave your comments, leave your feedback. What are your thoughts? How do you like it? Leave that all down below. I appreciate it. I do read and respond to each and every one of them. And we will continue working as we are prepping for an art show coming up June 3rd and 4th here in Topeka, Kansas. So if you are around the area that weekend, definitely come by the Mulvane Art Show at Washburn University and check out all the amazing artists and support your local artists and the creativity that they come up with. At that rate, we will catch you next time.